Hi everyone. Normally I open my talk with an upbeat, and today I can't because one of my absolute best friends and one of the best teachers of this work, who was an occupational therapist for many years before she became a teacher of this work, and then she studied and learned this work very well, and while studying already built a very formidable practice in a town called Piracicaba, and then worked in Sao Paulo. And she was gorgeous woman. You probably will see a video of her, so you'll be able to see how beautiful she is. And very nice to everyone. She formed for me several training courses. The last one was the biggest one I ever had, was 42 people in Sao Paulo, Brazil. She died. She got COVID. And even though the COVID healed, what happens is often, whether it is a flu or whether it is any other stressor, it brings out the worst in us sometimes. And she got kidney failure, and she got paralyzed, completely paralyzed all over her body, and wasn't able to talk anymore, and was in the hospital. And only towards the end of her life, she was diagnosed with porphyria, which is a problem where the heme, the part of the hemoglobin that gets in the blood, is missing, and it affects the nervous system, it affects the kidneys, and it kills the person. In fact, porphyria can have remissions and can go away. And if anyone would have been able to understand that that's her problem before, who knows if I would still have my friends that now is cremated. Some people say it wasn't possible to diagnose it because the symptoms weren't there, but maybe they were, who knows. Anyway, for whatever reason, at the age of 47, a beautiful woman disappeared from the face of the earth, who helped thousands. She was teaching in Maringá, which is an island, and she brought me to Maringá. She was teaching, of course, in the state of Sao Paulo and in Sao Paulo itself. And she was arranging classes for many other people, like my very excellent colleague and student, Fernanda, who is also an optometrist and a teacher, and several other teachers in Brazil. So I don't know how she could possibly be replaced. The only thing that makes me feel good is that I'm sure that her positive spirit is now going to all of us and will help us to continue and teach this work. But I don't think that I can easily depart from her. There is something selfish about it, where you want the other person that passed away to still be here. And truly, I do. Truly, I do. And truly, it's in my dreams. But nevertheless, that's what happened. And my sorrow is very big here. So I want to keep talking in a way, in the same way that I spoke last week. And this is that I feel that what we don't understand in our life, what all the epidemiologists don't understand, is that we need to take care of the body and of our mind on a regular basis. The one thing which I think should be unallowed is to simply casually take medications, anti-anxiety medications, sleep medications, medications against headaches. We need to work on the source of all those problems and not to take medications against them except in few exceptional situations. I heard that if somebody gets some nice sedatives when they start COVID, they pass through it much better because they're more relaxed. But nevertheless, it's amazing how those weaken the body. And some people take cortisone and prednisone and all kinds of medications that weaken us on a regular basis. Then when a pandemic comes where so many people, if not most people, who get them don't even have symptoms, and they can easily transfer it to other people, everything that is weak in them, including whatever weakness medications brought, comes up. And it comes up in a severe disease. And you know, my friend right now, Eduardo, whom I like a lot and who's also a client of mine, and he contributed also to our damage here. And I must again thank all my wonderful friends from all four corners of the world, including Hong Kong. That was the best contribution we got from a wonderful woman from there, whom I worked with her daughter with cataracts. But all of you who helped us is really warming my heart. And we did succeed to get considerable amount of money. We still need much more, but I'm so grateful. I'm really touched. But anyway, I want to, and I feel in my case, it's not like I'm very known. It's just the people who know me know the hard work and the heart that I'm putting in this work, and they really want to help me continue and train others to do it, so the whole world will be full of wonderful teachers like Laura. So to just continue something about Laura, since my teaching is so intuitive, Laura knew how to put it in a scientific way. She was able to make nice looking pictures of the body, and because of her education in occupational therapy, her great level of knowledge in physiology and anatomy, she was able to compose booklets that could be basically books in explaining her students how self-healing can affect the body in a deep way, how it can affect the autonomic nervous system, the central nervous system, the muscles. And when people came eventually for advanced training with me, I only taught advanced training in Brazil in the last few years, and she was the person who brought people from Brazil. Last time it was impressive. Between her and 6 other teachers, they were able to graduate 225 people from Part 1 training. That is impressive, and I don't have those numbers myself. But I was able to get 42 people to my class, and they were prepared. Some of them are already physiotherapists, but some of them are just ITs or other kind of people. Some of them know martial art. Some of them simply know the art of living. All of them knew what I was talking about. All of them had the physiology, the anatomy, and the knowledge in advance, thanks to her and teachers like her. And she influenced other teachers in the way that she worked. So she was amazing. And that's why I'm saying that's an amazing loss that my method has, because she surpassed me in many ways in the ability to teach my own work, as she knew how to translate intuition into simple concepts. And that's one thing that Albert Einstein said, that the way to teach anything is by simplifying and explaining it in the simplest possible way. And boy, did he know a lot. So, returning to our issue, you cannot take a shortcut. I don't want you to have the problems that some of my clients have. And the shortcut is simply thinking that by escaping a pandemic, you saved yourself. You did a good step. And I understand the step that you made. But the most important thing is, throughout life, to do anything you can do to become flexible, and the word flexible is very important, but not too extreme. To become strong, and that's very important, again, not too extreme. The extreme strength can kill you. To have a strong system within you, which includes your immune system. So every disease is nothing but an exercise for it. And to be in a place where you can actually be quiet with yourself. Those are huge challenges for us. But doing that can help us do what one wonderful Spanish lady did. She was afflicted by the Spanish flu in 1918, when she was a young kid, recovered. She was afflicted by corona at the age of 113 and recovered as well. I don't want you to do it as an exercise. Don't get afflicted, please. But you want to be so strong that no matter what happens to you, you will pull out and pull out well. So yes, listen to the CDC and to the health department. Do it with a little bit of common sense. Doesn't make sense to me that people put masks when they walk on the beach and they can be distant from each other, big time. Doesn't make sense to me when they do it in the park either. But when I walk on Irving Street here in San Francisco, which is very crowded, I always wear a mask because I cannot be any farther than 2 feet from anyone there. That makes sense to me. So allow the nature element to help you. And when they talk about isolation, isolate, but it doesn't mean you have to stay in a room, in my opinion. It means just don't get close to anyone. Be in the sun, be in a garden which is protected. Don't attempt to be out of nature. That does not help your immune system. So I want to say we can be healthy for this pandemic and for the next pandemic. And I'm sorry that it probably will be imposed on me to take the vaccine, which I don't want to take. But one day airline companies will demand it and I fly and teach all over the world. So I'll have to take it. Because I have a full trust in the 4-layer of lymph in my throat that will kill anything that comes my way. I have a full trust in my glands anywhere and everywhere, including the thymus gland that they say should shrink in me at the age of 66 because it starts to shrink from your late teens. But I tap on my chest a lot to make sure it doesn't shrink. And I have wonderful exercises that can help me build up my immune system. So I will keep doing them and I'll keep teaching them because that is the property of everyone. And anytime that I'm going to get at least 20 requests to do a free session on the immune system, you have my half an hour just for that. Although we already have for sale a video on the spine, the joints, and the immune system. So you can already have that. And you definitely have good explanation in awakening your power of self-healing on the immune system. But I'm willing to have a Zoom session with many people, teach you stuff on the immune system, and then answer questions. So anyway, I will talk to you again soon. Much love to everyone. And I hope that all of you can send a prayer for the spirit of Laura, because in my opinion, her spirit is one of the biggest things she had. She was very pretty in the outside and 1,000,000 times more pretty in the inside. Bye to everybody.